We are back for another heart-to-heart conversation, and this is super exciting because it's the first one with an official podcast mic. So fingers crossed that this worked. We had some technical difficulties, but thank goodness for Lee and her patience. And I just love you, and I'm so grateful that you're here with me today.
Oh, I love you, and I'm so grateful to be here with you. It's amazing. I can't wait for
Um,
what's to unfold.
yeah, because so Lee and I met actually in a creativity into cash flow program. And now here we are collabing, which is so epic. And I love for you to talk about, yeah, just like how did you get into this work that you're doing today of being a self-worth coach and leading meditations?
Dang, it started with just me looking to silence the chaos in my head. I was so overwhelmed, so stressed out, and I needed to find that inner peace. So started meditating, going to a meditation center, started doing that, and I realized I was like, this is what I want to do. And so I got certified to be a meditation coach and teacher. That it's like unfolded into a completely different vision of what I even imagined it would be looking like. And so now I'm like, holy crap, what am I doing? What am I doing again? And so, I mean, it all started with just trying to get that inner peace, and it evolved into touching people's lives and guiding women, sometimes men, through moments in their lives where they need that support and finding that inner love that they kind of look for outside of themselves.
Ooh, so deep. There's so much there. I think it's crucial, though, that you talked about how it's what you needed first and foremost. Like, it was almost like I see that so often that we heal ourselves and we find that inner peace. We find that self love, that self worth, insert whatever you want there. And then it's because it's made such a profound impact on our lives that, of course, we want to share it with others. Like, why would you keep that to yourself?
Yeah, it's my little secret. I'm not telling you. No. Yeah. Uh-uh. I couldn't. Like I imagined that I would have a meditation center where people would come, and I imagined it would be that and only that. And then it became so much more. I guess, the vision got bigger, spirit spoke, and here we are.
Ooh. So that's the first I've heard of that. Of part of your vision and dream is you're wanting to have an actual location. Is that a thing? Can I come and like come to your healing center?
I don't have one yet.
Yet,
Yet.
keyword.
But we are hosting retreats. So that's a whole nother thing. So yeah.
How
Yeah,
beautiful
it's
though, especially thinking about this time, right? Like you don't even necessarily have to have a physical location. People aren't even really able to gather physically during this time of COVID. So it's almost a blessing, maybe, if that's how you see it, that yeah, you've had to reimagine and maybe you're impacting more people than you ever could have if you had a physical location, people worldwide.
yeah, exactly. And that was interesting for me this year because I normally have been very quiet, very reserved, very behind the scenes. And I've had to put myself out there and stretch myself in ways I never imagined I could or would. And have met so many amazing people, and no one lives near me. And so I stay connected with everyone in different ways. And it's just been amazing because it opened up a whole new world for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's how we met, right? And
Hmm.
it is unfortunate that we aren't so close, but thank goodness for things like Zoom and like Instagram. And I also want to hone in on what you said about stepping out kind of into the unknown and doing those uncomfortable things. Like, girl, I see you on IG Live. You are active and out there and being seen and heard. And it's funny how oftentimes those things that we're so scared of our purpose, our joy, our everything that we crave is on the other side.
Yes, yes. And it was funny because I held back for months before I would even do an IG live. I was like, no, I can't do that. Like, I can't. And then suddenly I did one, and then I did another one, and then I did another one. And I was like, fuck, I can do this. Hell yeah, I can do this.
It's almost addicting. I mean, I'll say for the couple times that I've done IG live, I get in my head about it. I'm like, oh god, I don't want to be seen today. I just want to be in sweatpants and rare. But then once I do it, it's almost like I'm flooded with so much new, fresh energy and creative ideas. And it's like, why was I stopping myself in the first place again?
Yeah. And it's that's the hardest part, right? Is getting started, getting going. And so you get to change that dialogue inside your head and move forward anyway.
Yes. And I think that is a huge part of self-worth, right? And self-love.
Hmm.
And I'd love to hear from, your clients, from people maybe that have been on your IG lives. What are the things maybe that people are saying to themselves in their head, or some barriers that people come across, and then how do you coach them to step into their power and their self-worth?
Well, a lot of the things that come up are pretty much like, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. Um, gosh, the other day I was speaking to a client and they mentioned how they didn't deserve the love of their godchild. And my question was, well, why would you say that? And they explained all the reasoning behind it, which was just a loop, right? You just get on this mental loop, and it was just bringing it back to the reality. It's a reality check at in the moment. Like, okay, so what's the reality behind that? You get back on track. It's like, okay, yeah, that's what your mind is saying, but what's the reality behind it? And once you can acknowledge what the reality is, you can move forward.
Mm. And that's so key, right? That's why coaches are so important in our journeys, because if we're stuck in our head and in that loop, we could be going down that loop for 80, 90 years of our life.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
thank goodness for people like you, people like me, who we have devoted our lives to guiding people back to themselves. That's how I see it.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I think I'm thankful for my coaches. Like, I'm so thankful for everyone that has been a part of my journey, my healing. I wouldn't be here without their guidance. I wouldn't have had the type of healing I've had in such a short amount of time had it not been for the investment I made in myself.
Yeah. And yes, it will take financial commitment. I think that I actually was just talking to someone on the phone yesterday about how, yeah, it's money, but it's so much more than money. It's literally
Mhm.
you declaring to the universe that I am worth it, and that I am going to invest in myself because I love myself that much, and my healing and my growth is important to me.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like it's not even like an acknowledgement. It's like a shouting with like one of those things. What do you call that shit?
Megaphone.
A megaphone. Yeah, it's like from the top of a building with huge speakers. Like you just shouting it out there. Like, you know what? I'm here and I'm worth it, and I'm doing this for myself. It's amazing. Once you accept yourself, everything else unfolds.
Mm, beautiful. I know we've talked about in past one-on-one conversations, but I'd love to share it here with a wider audience. Um, yeah, speaking to that, once you accept yourself idea, relationships, and specifically intimate relationships. Where does self-worth come into play? And if you're open to it, sharing some of your journey and maybe mistakes that you've learned from.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm open to it. So within this journey, I decided for my healing that I would stay single, right? I was divorced a little bit over 2 years ago, and it was a tough relationship. It was kind of toxic. It wasn't that great. And so in the relationship, the way I was showing up in the relationship was very depressed, very I was gone. I wasn't there mentally. I wasn't there, right? In the beginning, everything's gravy. People interact, stuff happens. And suddenly, I retreated within myself, and I wasn't out there. I wasn't there. And this is where I get to acknowledge how I showed up in the relationship, regardless of what happened, what the outcome was, right? Then I decided I would stay by myself. Like, I'm going to heal. I started searching for that inner peace and everything else that unfolded. And then I found that my self-worth was like in the trash.
Not even laying on the floor. It was in the
In the
trash.
trash. It was in the freaking trash. I did not believe in myself. I did not believe that I deserved anyone to love me. And how could I love someone else if I can't even see that within myself? And so then that journey began, like, okay, so how are you gonna do? And it takes work, it takes effort every single day to choose you, to choose to love you, no matter how you're feeling, and to know that it's okay not to be great, not to feel great. It's every day, it's staying consistent. And even recently, I found myself playing a story in my head because I misunderstood a conversation. And I was like, how dare they say that to me? And then when the conversation got more like, well, that's not exactly what I said, I was like, what? Why did I hear? What did I hear?
It's funny
How
what
dare
our
you say
mind,
that?
right? Like
Yeah.
our minds just, I've done the same thing where my mind just, they say one thing and then I'm like, oh, they don't like me, they don't love me, it's over, or whatever. We just go to the extreme.
Yes. Yeah. And like I realized in that moment that, oh shit, I get to heal deeper
Mm.
because it wasn't them saying it to me. It was exact my mind heard what it wanted to hear in that moment because it was already thinking it. And
Oh,
it took that moment to really like snap me back like, oh shit. And how are you gonna work with this now? Because you thought you healed it. Well, hello, it goes deeper.
yeah, it's like, oh, you think you're done. You've mastered self-worth. Well, just you wait.
Yeah. Yeah. But it gets deeper. And then it transpired into even understanding that I needed to heal that in a deeper way in order to be of service to my clients because I had a client who dealt with almost the same exact thing. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, okay, I just went through this like 3 days ago.
Oh, dang.
And so it's that serious, right? Like whatever you are showing up as in service to others is stuff that it will come up in your life and it will present itself how it needs to present itself so that you can heal it so that you can then guide someone else through it.
Mm. Oh, yeah. And as much as I'd like to say that, the bumps along the road and maybe those toxic relationships and stuff, as much as I'd like to say that, oh, we could have avoided that pain, that suffering, Lee, you didn't have to go through that. But then I look at it and it's like, but this is your life work. This is your purpose. And I
Mm-hmm.
love how that perspective of almost gratitude for it because it's helped you help others. First of all, help yourself, but it's full circle. It goes back to what we were starting out this conversation with of, wow, the more that you get to heal through and grow through, the more people that you can impact and serve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because imagine if you live in a bubble and you don't experience anything, then what do you have to offer?
Mm.
And I remember there would be a few years ago where I would have been in the self-pity wagon and this happened to me and they did this to me and I'm glad that things happened the way they happened. I mean, it's not like I want to go through it again. But I learned a lot, not just about being in a relationship, in any kind of relationship, right? Friendships too. learn a lot through those interactions, and you learn a lot not just about other people but about yourself. And I
Mm,
think that that's where we need to like be a little bit more open-minded, because it's not just about us, it's not just about them, it's about how we're showing up to each other. And I think that that's like the biggest lesson right there.
ooh, yeah, that's gold. And I want to take it to an even bigger, like global perspective right now. It's like, yeah, do you see, are we treating people with kindness and respect at this time?
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
How would the world change and shift if we were to, if people had self love and just like poured from that place? Oh my gosh, I so many things would be different, right? Like I don't think
Mhm.
that there wouldn't be violence, there wouldn't be, I don't even think there would be homelessness or these things, because we look at them and it's like you are me, I am you, and if you're suffering and not, like then the whole planet is suffering. So if you're not
Mhm.
thriving, I'm not thriving. Well, imagine if we adopted that belief system.
It would be amazing,
Hmm.
because no one would have that me mentality only. No one would be bringing someone else down just so that they can feel better about themselves. Because once you have it within you, who cares what everyone else is doing? You don't like, you don't look at them in jealousy or whatever, envy. You cheer them on.
Mm,
You're like, you go, you do that. Hell yeah, do it, you know? When where you're lacking within yourself, that's where the chaos can unfold. That's where the envy and the anger and all of that, because you want what someone else might have that you don't have, because you don't see it within yourself. And
mm.
so once we see it within ourselves, it's a wrap.
It's a
Nothing can
wrap.
stop you.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop you.
Hmm. Yeah. I think even of what you're doing and the IG lives and stuff, and it's like it inspires me. I'm like, whoa, she's out there doing this. It gives me permission to live bigger and to
Yes.
step into that. Um, and I think, right, like, yeah, you're a self-worth coach and I'm a heart coach. And, some of our clients might overlap, but really, like, we're on the same mission. So it's not competition at all. I think the
Mm-mm.
more that you're doing your work, the more I'm doing my work, it's building the planet that we want to see.
Exactly. It's building an impact, and is there you have a reach that I don't have. I have a reach that you don't have. And we are like, right? We're teammates. We're on this journey together. We were, we didn't just suddenly one day wake up and say, this is what I'm gonna do. It was like one day we were lit up by something and we ended up doing this work. We're part of a team. This is a bigger plan. It's for the collective. It's not for me. It's not for you. It's for all of us.
Yeah.
And so I cheer you on every time I see you.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. I love conversations like these. Oh, they just fill me up so much. Like I swear. This is what it's all about. Seriously. Oh, man, I wish that just everyone could hear this conversation. We could just blast it from the mountaintops, because who we are at the root is love.
Hmm.
And I think too, you said something about like, yeah, like we were lit up by something. Yes, I was lit up by something, and that definitely led me to the path that I'm on today. I also think it's very much the pain that I was in and that quote unquote mess that has now led to my message. Or,
Hmm.
like you call it what you want, pain to purpose or mess into message. But it's because of, I mean, I think even of your story where that chaos or just the negative thoughts in your mind, and then you were craving inner peace so much, and so you were doing whatever it took to find that.
Hmm. Yeah, but it's always something, right? It didn't come out of nowhere. It's not like you chose this career, right? Like you go into college because this is what I'm going to be when I grow up. That might have looked way different than what you're doing now. It looks way different than what I'm doing now, because I wanted to, I mean, my thing was photography. And though I still like it, I still enjoy it. It's not my thing.
Mm.
It's not my calling. And so suddenly one day, on a whim of like, can somebody just shut my mind off? I finally, like, I started searching for this place that I'd been looking for over 9 years, and I couldn't find it. Like every time I drove out to see it, I like would totally miss it. And then about 2 years ago, I went and I found it. Like, boom, it was there. Like, I'm going in. Started going regularly, and I was like, this is what I've been missing.
Mm.
And from there, we unfold, and here we are. So something has to light you up. It could be messy, but it's still that kindle that you need to light the fire.
Yes. And oh my gosh, on that analogy of fire, find those people who are going to fan your flames. Like I think of you, I think of, just like people like Erica, these women who have come into my life and we're up to big things. And yeah, you could do it alone, but it's so much more fun to do it together and have those people who they see my fire and they're like, oh yes, like go girl. Like,
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's so funny because for a long time I was isolated, and I didn't even have good relationships with other women. Like there were no women in my life besides like my mom and my sister, right? That's a whole nother story. Like that's not the same, right? Because they support you or don't support you, whatever. This family.
Mhm.
But as I met people this year, as I met all these beautiful freaking women, I was able to expand, because not only was I leaning on them, but they were leaning on me, and we were able to hold each other through the process. And that's how I see this. It's like we're doing it together, we're holding each other, we're supporting each other, we're fanning that flame, and what better way to do it than together?
Yes. Yes. And it's not all like fire and rainbows and butterflies and right. Like,
Not at all.
yeah, like you spoke to, was it maybe earlier this week or something where you had a rough point, and I think everyone during this week, sometime earlier this week, we were just feeling it because I was in tears and I didn't even really know why I was crying, but it was just so much sadness coming up. And it just reminded me the ebb and flow, because here I am, and today I've had so much energy, yesterday as well. And I noticed how it's like I almost was making myself wrong for being sad, but it's all part of the process and the journey.
It is. And acceptance, right? I mean, yeah, everyone since the full moon has been a little chaotic. And it was funny because I looked into it. I was like, why? Like, what is happening? And it was an eclipse full moon, and I saw that it just brings uncertainty, anxiety, tension. I was like, oh, okay.
It
All
all
right.
makes sense now.
I get it.
That's funny. Yeah.
Like let's just go ahead. Let's just let this flow and get to the next phase.
Yeah. And give yourself grace and compassion through it all,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Take the time you need. Extra love, extra care. Take extra long, an extra long bath or an extra long shower, or
Mm.
take a nap. I mean, I don't know what makes me happy is taking a nap. So I'll take a nap.
Yes, you take that nap.
It's like going to sleep, guys, don't bother me. Give me an hour.
I love it. I would do that in college. But see, I was like, I limited it to 20 minutes because I was like, it needs to be a cat nap. And apparently, if you do over 20 minutes, then it like ruins the point of the nap or ruins your sleep later. I don't know.
It doesn't ruin anything because I still go to bed at the same time. So just as tired.
I'm glad it works for you.
20 minutes is never enough for me.
I'm curious about, because you spoke to it earlier and I'm going to ask you about it, the retreats and what you have upcoming and just your greater vision. I'd love to dive deeper into that.
Oh my gosh. So the retreat, I'm so psyched about my retreat. I partnered up with one of the beautiful women that I've met this year. Do you know her, Tashira?
I don't think so.
Okay, she goes by Blue Lotus Veda Yoga on Instagram. Um, we partnered up. She's a yoga teacher, Ayurveda. Some what do you call that? Like
Oh,
I
the
don't. Yeah, like I
um
I always get messed that part up, right? Anywho,
you can find her on
she
Instagram.
incorporate. Yeah, she teaches Ayurveda as well. Like she has all this beautiful stuff going on within yoga and Ayurveda, and she's also a mindset coach. And she and I partnered up. We're gonna do this retreat here in Florida, and it's gonna be on the beach,
Oh,
and and it's gonna be immersive, so it's gonna be unplugged. Obviously, we'll give some time for people if they have families that they need to check in with. We'll give some time for that. But it's going to be 2 full days of meditation and yoga. We have a private chef that we are bringing in as well. All healthy meals, eating clean, and it'll be 2 days full of yoga, meditation, breath work, workshops, ecstatic dancing on the by the water, fire ceremonies, water ceremonies. It's gonna be beautiful. So we're
oh,
super excited about it. Actually, like tonight, every Friday night on Facebook, we go live for a wind down and like we just talk about anything with whoever shows up and about the retreat as well. But for the most part, we do a live on IG, we do a live on Facebook, and we just kind of go with the flow.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, you had me sold at it's on the beach in Florida. I was like, yes.
Then come because it's for everyone. I mean, it's not just for people who haven't done any healing work, it's to deepen the work you've already done.
Mm,
I mean, I'm going to be not just a facilitator, I'm going to be participating as well.
yeah, of course. Yeah. And I love
And
too, like the structure that it seems like just the whole process of creating this, you're keeping it fun, like doing the Instagram lives on Friday night and just like having fun with it, including the masculine and feminine energy of structure, but also flow. And it's just so beautiful to witness. I'm like, ooh, ideas for future
oh, and it's
implementation.
co-ed as well.
Ooh.
So it's co-ed. If anyone has a partner they'd like to bring, they can totally do that.
Mm.
Or come with a friend. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll go alone. I mean, that's fun too. Meet a whole bunch of friends.
Exactly. However you want to show up, just show up. Just be you.
Beautiful. So, do you have a date? When is this happening?
February 19th through the 22nd. Arrival is on the 19th, which is a Friday. We need everyone to arrive by 7, before 7 p.m. Opening ceremony will be at 8 p.m. with cacao. And then we wake up the next morning around 5:30 for outdoor sun gazing meditation and yoga flow. Then we'll have breakfast. And the whole time is silent. There's no talking. Then we'll have breakfast. And then after breakfast, we can begin speaking.
Whoa. Ooh, I like how it could almost be like a Valentine's Day getaway type thing for couples.
Or for yourself if you're single.
Yeah, self love in the wind. Give yourself a trip and a retreat.
Exactly. I
Mhm.
mean, why not?
Yeah.
We deserve it. You don't have to be in a couple to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah, just celebrate love and life and oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I remember years ago when I was like single and Valentine's Day would come along, I'd be like, vomit.
Oh yeah.
That sucks.
Oh, I would joke about it. I'd be like, oh yes, Singles Awareness Day. This is the day that you know clearly that I am single.
And now it's just I buy myself chocolates. I give myself flowers, right? Why not? I
Yeah.
mean, I took it to an extreme. but I gave myself permanent flowers.
Oh, what? Like bought yourself a plant or like fake plants or something? Oh, tattoo. Yes.
They're like my favorite flower, and I was like, permanent flowers. Give myself flowers every day.
You're probably saving so much money. Like, yeah, it was an investment, but it's on you for life.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you gonna color it in or is it just black?
No, I like it just black.
It's cute.
Because colors fade.
True.
Yeah, touch them up. This way it just is.
Life lessons. Guys, take notes. I hope you're taking notes.
Colors fade.
I know. I feel like we could go so deep with that, but I'm also like, okay, maybe I shouldn't go down that rabbit hole.
That can be another conversation.
Yeah, for another time. Maybe it'll be an IG live.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't know. But is there, okay, I've asked like pretty much all my questions that were just flowing through. I also want to leave space too for you if there's anything maybe that you wanted to share that I didn't ask. Like what? Now's your time.
Snap. Ah, you put me on the spot there.
No pressure.
Oh, when somebody says no pressure, there's always pressure. Readjust myself. Let me see. As I think here. I guess my only message, the only thing that I would want to share for everyone who listens is that don't be afraid to ask for help. You're not a burden. You're not a pain. You need help, ask for help. That's part of being open to receive love and everything else that comes. And so asking for help is the first step. And I'll leave it with that.
So good. Yes, I needed to hear that. I hope that the listeners received so much value. I know that they already did. I mean, you shining your light and sharing more of your story and what you do is such a blessing. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for shining your light. Oh my goodness.
Of course. No, this has been such a treat. And I'd love for our listeners too, once this comes out and you're hearing it, to share it on your stories and, talk about your takeaways or things that you're doing to I was going to say like up your self-worth or, to love yourself every day and to step into your power and shine your light. I know I absolutely love hearing the impact of these conversations, and I'm sure it would just fill your heart, right, Lee, to hear that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And yeah, like Lee said, like don't hesitate to reach out. And we're here to support you in whatever you're going through. So please, we're just a message away. I'll put Lee's contact stuff in the show notes, and yeah, so excited for this to come out.
Just a DM away. Just a DM away.
Just a DM away. I feel like that should be a song.
Someone will make it.
If you're listening to this and you're a songwriter or you write music, please make this a thing.
Hell yeah.
All right. Much love. Mwah.
Mwah.